Recent meta-analysis was done on 26 randomized controlled trials involving 1,826 participants, assessing the effects of subthalamic nucleus deep brain stimulation on motor function in Parkinson's patients. Happy wellness. Very short and sweet today, but a really interesting article I was reading. The subthalamic nucleus, it gets input from the cerebral cortex, excitatory input, and it has glutaminergic response. How it, with glutamate, we should say, is a major excitatory neurotransmitter in the central nervous system, and it partially controls motor function. And we know that people with Parkinson's disease, they have motor deficits, right? And it actually starts with a lot of sensory deficits, which a lot of people don't realize, but it continues with deficits in motor function. So 79.6 of the participants that they did this subthalamic nucleus deep brain stimulation had improved motor function with Parkinson's disease. So really interesting stuff. They put some electrodes in the nucleus and they affect the signals that it sends, in short, in simple. Right, now we're not going to get deep into all that. I don't fully understand all that, obviously, either. I'm not a neuroscientist or, a neurosurgeon or anything, but pretty cool stuff. And you know what? It's relevant because we had a question about Parkinson's. Any treatments out there that are good? We talked about HIIT training the other day, and there are a bunch of articles on Examine about Parkinson's and conservative measures to help improve motor function and reduce symptomatology. So pretty neat stuff, guys, I think. So subthalamic nuclei deep brain stimulation was the most effective of all the types of stimulation. They removed the globus pallidus, they did all sorts of things in the brain, and that was the number one most effective. So without knowing any of the other facts in the study, well, that's the important takeaway point. Happy birthday to my awesome brother, Matty boy. Matt, you little bastard. Man, I think of you watching the History Channel as a kid. That's not the first thing I think of. First thing I think of is that I love you. That really is the first thing I think of. And that you have a great heart. Matt is one of the most thoughtful people you'll ever meet in your life. You could tell that just by the card he'll write you for your birthday. I don't have a card for you today. I'm not with you. I hope you're having a great time on your trip. And I can't wait to spend some time with you soon, man. Every time you come home, it's so nostalgic. Us playing Nintendo and playing poker. It just reminds me of when we shared bunk beds for must have been 18 years or something crazy. And I could probably say I know you better than anyone. And I just, I'm glad that I whooped your ass a lot growing up to toughen you up, right? Because you turned out great. That's a beast. And you know what, man? I say that, but guess what? Now Super Smash, I don't win all the time anymore. And you deny that I used to win all the time, but I did. I won like 3 out of 4, all right? Even like 3 years ago, I would say. And in recent years, I lost my touch a little bit, and Matt got better. Give credit where credit is due. And I guess now his brain is fully developed, so he's better at Smash. Not better than me, but better than he was. And now we go back and forth. It's a sad thing, but it's true. And we just say what's true here at When Wellness, regardless of opinion, right? Man, Matt, remember when you started skating? I remember when you started skating, you went through that chubby phase. We all did. From like 8 to 10 years old, I was a little bit chub too, and then, for me, I started working out when I was like, I think it was 10. Yeah, when I was at the ground round and Pop said that about Shane's looking like he's gaining a little weight. And the French fries, and I went home and did sit-ups until I couldn't do anymore. That's how it all started. But the reason I bring that up is because I think about you when you started to change in the sense that you wanted to pay attention to your physique and your physical performance. You want to feel better, look better. You were a young gun, start hitting on girls, maybe 13 years old, 12 years old. You lost that weight. You got real skinny right after 10. and like 11 through 13 probably. And then I remember we were working out in my room one day. I was doing something with a bar, laying on the ground doing bench press in, you know, a way that was not nearly as effective as it should have been. And you learn through experience, right? And study. And then that day you picked up the bar and you started going, and you got in great shape. And you're still in great shape to this day. And I really respect that, man. You were a beast. I remember when you were like 18, you were like 185 at the gym, you know, hauling up weight, just big arms, big strong guy, and, you know, cut. And I was so proud of you, man. You just, you know, the way you evolved. And I'm even more proud of you now. Matt is absolute genius. Aside from common sense, you know, if anyone thinks I'm slightly knowledgeable, you got to talk to Matt. He knows so much. It's just amazing. Every time you have a conversation with him, you learn something. And you know, I can say that for myself too, man. And I'm glad that we both became doctors and we can have these cool conversations. You know, it's I don't know, man. You know, I'm just thinking like, you know, the emotions from when we were little kids, and that's what it is now, you know. It's pretty cool stuff. And now you're going to be, you know, working in this hospital for probably the next few years. Got engaged this year, just a huge year. And, you know, I want you to make next year, this coming year, even better than the last one. And I love you so much, man. It's forever your day in the book of When Wellness. You goddamn right. So, happy birthday, dude. Enjoy it. Enjoy Belgium. What's up, you guys? Hippolito, how you doing? Honey Lemon, Dread Blood, Hoppers Comics. That's Dread Blood Moon V. Hoppers Comics. Hey, Casserole, what's happening? Sean D. Hamilton, Catherine, Romeo Draws, the guy in Mikey's shoes. What's up? Chesty, what's happening? Shrink is in. Jacob. Mohsin Falsafi. How are you, my friend? Mohsin Falsafi. Nitro Mordep. The for all. Nice to see you on here again, guys. I see a lot of familiar faces. What up, Meg? Hope you're feeling okay. Susan Corby, what's going on? Addie Robinson, David MPA, Cupid's Arrow. I've already been struck with it. Ryan Fresh, Jess, what's going on? Butterfly Tina, Kevin M. Young, Dennis Pazunas, and W. Sumters. You guys have a fantastic rest of your night. Sexy Cat Romero, hey. Not Des, just Brian, what's up? Luka Wuka, I like that name. D. Sharon, what's happening? Rick the Rick the Electicist. Oh, rattlesnakes. Okay. Almighty Alv. If you guys have any questions, post them. Otherwise, have a fantastic rest of your night. We'll see you tomorrow. Happy Wellness. Thank you. Nick, what's going on? Caught him at the bell. Have a great night.